Hi there. Welcome back. I hope that you had a great Thanksgiving break, and I hope you're ready to just jump back into things and continue learning throughout the rest of or through December. Okay. Today is November 30th as you're watching this. So I just wanted to take the time to make a video to kind of walk you through what the next couple of weeks are going to look like. First, this week we are going to be spending all of our time reviewing, answering all kinds of questions that cover everything we've already gone over in the past 9 weeks, because next week you're going to be taking your CBA for reading, okay? And the reading CBA is going to cover everything we've talked about this school year and give you an idea of how much you've been able to learn this school year. But first, I want to talk about this week. So today is Monday. Today, you're going to be doing a practice passage. And before you do that passage, I'm going to show you what test-taking strategies I use and I expect you to use while you're taking a test. Now, all of the assignments this week are going to look like tests because they are practice tests. Just because they're practice does not mean I'm not grading them, though. I will be grading them to see how well you are able to answer some of these test-like questions. But you should not stress. I mean, guys, even when you're reading a passage that looks like a test, you're still allowed to enjoy the passage. Okay, it's still something fun and new and interesting to read. And then you just answer some questions about it. So I don't want you to feel like it is a stressful thing, because it doesn't have to be. It's just a chance for me to see what you know and for you to practice all of the skills that you have up there in your brain. So let's get started. Today, Monday, I'm going to walk through the passage with you. I'm going to talk about all the strategies I use and I want you to use as you take the test, okay? And then tomorrow, Tuesday, you're going to be taking your reading level test on Star Ren. This is going to be an opportunity for me to see how much you have grown this year in reading from August to December. So I want you to do your very best on that so I can see if your reading level is improving this school year. And then Wednesday and Thursday, you're going to be doing another passage just to practice all of the skills we've been doing this week. And then Friday will be a little bit easier. So let's get started on today's work. Test-taking strategies. I'm going to tell you how I approach a passage, and I want you to practice these skills this week. So let's get started with our first passage. It's going to be a fiction text on my end. The first thing is your weekly homework. This week it is called Therapist Horse. This is what it looks like. And there are 8 questions that go with it. So when you're finished, make sure you turn this in. Your homework is due on Thursday. The second thing for the week is the work for today. Okay? This is the test prep practice that I was talking about. I'm going to walk you through what I do to approach a passage just like this one. First, something I use with all my students, and I hope that you have paid attention to me using, is called PRAP. PRAP. So I want you to use that on this passage. I'm going to explain it. When you approach a test in this way, it prepares you to get the best answers. The first P stands for predict and preview. So I'm going to take my highlighter tool and I'm going to highlight some of the important things that I see as I preview this text. The monkey, a tale from India. I'm starting to think this might be kind of like a folk tale maybe, or some kind of tale from the past. What else do I see that stands out to me? I see some quotation marks. I know some characters are going to be speaking to each other. I see the word petition. I know that if I see an underlined word, I'm probably going to have to know what that word means. So I'm going to pay attention as I read to what petition means. Ooh, I see this in all caps. Someone saying screech. So I know that's an onomatopoeia. Something major is happening. Anything else that stands out to me? Okay, now I'm going to make a prediction. The monkey, a tale from India. I'm already visualizing a monkey. I'm thinking about India, so I know it's in a different country. So I'm going to make a little bit of a prediction here, which I can use a text box to add my prediction. I predict the story will be about a monkey who causes trouble. That's my guess. Remember, a prediction can be anything you want. It doesn't have to be right because it's just a prediction. And then after we read, we'll either confirm it or revise it. Okay, now that I've previewed my text and predicted, I can mark off the P. The next letter is the letter W. This stands for walk through the questions. So I'm going to go to my questions before I ever read my passage. And as I read my questions, I want to ask myself two things. What is the question asking me, and where do I find my answer? Okay, it says in paragraph 4, which words help the reader know what petition means? So I'm going to highlight, hold on, no. I'm going to highlight what petition means because I know that's what the question's asking me for the meaning of petition. And I'm also going to highlight or circle, I'm going to circle where to find my answer. Where? In paragraph 4, it tells me. So now I know as I'm reading, I need to pay attention to the meaning of petition and that word is in paragraph 4. Question 2. Read the sentences from paragraph 6. If the boy saw by the marks of the teeth that the monkey had bitten off any fruit, he would not eat it. He would pretend he had enough, for he would not eat the leavings of the monkey. What can the reader conclude about the boy from this sentence? So I'm going to ask myself, what is the question asking and where do I find my answer? The question is asking me to draw a conclusion about the boy using this sentence. So the question is asking me to draw a conclusion, and the place that I find my answer is this sentence. To draw a conclusion about that boy based on this sentence. To me, without reading the story, without looking at the answer choice, I'm already starting to draw conclusions about him. It sounds like he doesn't like to eat after animals, which seems pretty logical to me. I mean, animals can be gross sometimes. Let's move on. Question 3. How does the story's setting influence its plot? What is the question asking me? About the story's setting and how that influences the plot. To me, that means where the story takes place, how does where the story takes place influence what happens in the story? I already know it's in India, so I can start to think in my mind, like, why is it important that this takes place in India? How does that affect the story? So as you're walking through your questions, you should be thinking about all of these things, getting a map in your mind of what to look for when you read the passage. That's the point. Let's look at number 4. Based on their actions described in the story, the boy's parents most likely think it's important too. So it's asking me what the boy's parents think is important. Where do I find my answer? Just in the story. There's no specific place given to me. I have to figure it out one for my own. 5. Which sentence from the selection reveals how the monkey is able to trick the boy? The question is asking how the monkey is able to trick the boy. And where do I look? At one of these sentences. Which sentence shows how the monkey was able to trick the boy? The boy's actions in paragraph 5 through 8 of the story show that it's asking about the boy's actions, what they show about him, and where do I find my answer? It tells me, paragraphs 5 through 8. So I'm not going to look at his actions in any other paragraphs, only paragraphs 5 through 8. 7. Why does the author stretch out and capitalize the word screech in paragraph 9? So it's asking why it is stretched out and capitalized, the word screech, and it tells me where to find my answer, and that is in paragraph 9. Last question, which of these is the lesson the monkey learns in the story? So this is asking for a lesson. Who learns? The monkey. Where? In the whole story. So now that I've walked through my questions, I already kind of have some ideas and some things that I need to be looking for as I read my story. So let me go back up here. I'm going to mark off the W because I walked through my questions. Now I'm going to read. As you're reading, you're going to want to stop after a couple paragraphs or so and make sure you're understanding what's going on in the story. It says, One very hot day, some children were swimming in a pool when a monkey snatched up the clothes which one of the boys had left on the bank and ran up a tree with it. When the children came out of the water and went to take up their clothes, they found a set of clothes missing. Looking about, they saw the monkey in the tree with it. They begged the monkey to give their clothes back, but the monkey only said, I will not give them back unless the owner promises to go with me. I am lonely for a playmate. They began to throw sticks and stones at him, but he climbed to the top of the tree out of the way. Then they ran and told the parents of the boy whose clothes had been stolen. So, first I'm going to stop and think about it. There's some boys that were swimming, and then a monkey stole its clothes. Then the monkey speaks. So, I know this is fiction. I know this is fantasy, and monkeys can't speak. But the monkey's saying he's not going to give the clothes back unless the boy plays with him. Paragraph 2. The parents called their neighbors and went with bows and arrows and threatened to shoot the monkey if he did not give up the clothes. He still said that he would not unless the boy would go with him. Then they shot all their arrows at him, but not one of them hit him. When this happened, the neighbor said, This child is fated to go with the monkey, and that is why we cannot hit him. Next, the boy himself begged for it, and upon hearing his petition, the monkey let down one end of the clothes to him. When he caught hold of it, he pulled him up into the tree, and there made him put on his clothes and run off with him on his back. This is so silly. The boy was quite willing to go with him and called out as he was carried away, Never mind, father and mother, I am going away. The monkey took him to a cave in the mountains, and they lived on whatever fruit was in season. The monkey climbed the trees and shook the fruit down. If the boy saw by the marks of the teeth that the monkey had bitten off any fruit, he would not eat it. He would pretend he had enough, for he would not eat the leavings of the monkey. Sorry. At last the boy got tired of having only fruit to eat and demanded rice. So the monkey took him to a bazaar and left him out in the outskirts of the village under a tree. He went and stole some pots from a potter and rice and salt and meats from other shops and brought them to the boy. Then the boy collected sticks and lit a fire and cooked a meal. The monkey liked the cooked food and asked him to cook for him every day. They stayed there several days. Then the boy asked for more clothes, and the monkey tried to steal them too, but the shopkeepers were on the watch and drove him away. The boys soon got tired of sleeping under a tree, and so they went back to the cave, and the monkey gathered mangoes and fruit and told him to go and sell them in the market so he would be able to buy clothes. When he had sold the fruit, the boy stayed in the village and took a job with a well-to-do shopkeeper. He never returned to the monkey. The monkey watched for him and searched for him without finding him. Screech! He moaned all the way back to his hill. The boy stayed in the village and later married one of the villagers. Actually adapted, if you start here, from an Indian fairy tale. Okay, so it's a little silly. You know, fairy tales have a lot of fantasy. They have a lot of elements like they happened a long time ago. They're sometimes very unrealistic, like a boy riding a monkey's back up into a tree. But they usually have animal characters, and they also try to teach us a lesson. Okay, so this story, I'm going to stop and I'm going to think about what I've read, and then I'm going to move on to answering my questions. So rather than a fairy tale, I would actually call this like a folklore or fable. But a lot of times fairy tale, legends, fairy tales, all of these things that fall under the umbrella of folklore were invented or passed down from generation to generation to try to explain something. Try to explain something in nature. So it looks like to me this is kind of a story that was passed down in India to explain why monkeys did that screech, 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 screech sound all the time that monkeys do. And this is supposed to be like a story of how a monkey stole a boy and became friends with the boy, and they got really close, and the boy left him. And so now he always screeches all the time because he wants the boy to come back. So it's kind of like just a funny twist to explain why monkeys make that sound. Just like if you've ever read Why Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears, there's all kinds of stories that people have passed down for generations to try to explain things in nature. So first, number 1, in paragraph 4, it says, which words led the reader to know what petition means? Go back to paragraph 4. Every time you should be going back and looking for your answer. It says, next the boy himself begged for it, and upon hearing his petition, it says he begged not to go. He begged for it, and then after hearing his petition, the monkey let down one end of the clothes to him. So what words help me as a reader? Begged for it. If he's petitioning for it, he's begging for it. Those words help me understand what petition means. If you're petitioning for something, you're requesting it, okay? Or begging for it. So, after I've read, let me go back up here. After I've read, I'm going to mark off my R, and now I have to answer and prove. It's very important that you prove your work. If you don't prove your work, you're not going to know that you have the correct answer. So after you chose the best answer, I want to challenge you to prove and make sure you have the right answer. And that is going to be by adding a text box, which is here. No, that's just a rectangle. Just kidding. Hold on. Yeah. So you click on the big T and then it'll pop up a text box. So I'm going to say this is right because, and I'm going to abbreviate that by TRB. This is right because the boy is begging the monkey for his clothes. So that means he's requesting them or petitioning for them. Remember, you can always use a dictionary, too. You're allowed to do that. Okay? Next question. Read the sentence from paragraph 6. If the boy saw by the marks of the teeth that the monkey had bitten off any fruit, he would not eat it. He would pretend he had enough, for he would not eat the leavings of the monkey. Let's think about that. What can we conclude about the boy based on that? He is not certain the fruit is fresh? No, that can't be right because he's watching the monkey pick it from the tree. He wants the monkey to only throw him uneaten fruit? Maybe, but that's not something I can conclude based on the fact that he won't, what's the reasoning that he doesn't want to eat after the monkey? He's no longer interested in playing with the monkey? I don't think that's right. He has feelings of disgust towards the monkey. If he just feels like, ew, I'll never eat after this guy, he must have feelings of disgust towards the monkey. Because it states that he would not eat the leavings of the monkey. So it must be disgusted that the monkey thought he would eat after him. So let's prove it. This is right because the sentence is right there above. Sentences say he would not eat the leavings or leftovers the monkey, so he must be disgusted by the thought of it. Okay, I'm going to do one more with you, and then I want you to go in here and do the same thing. I'm reading the question, I'm finding my evidence, and I'm proving it. Number 3. How does the story's setting influence its plot? Okay, let's think about it. Time and place. Let's go back up here. Ooh, it says it's a very hot day. So it's a very hot day and they're swimming, and it says they're in India. Time and place, when? A hot summer day, where? India. So based on it being in India and it being a hot summer day, does that show the weather caused the arrows to not hit the monkey? No, that doesn't make sense. The summertime provides the monkey a chance to take the clothes. Ooh, maybe, because the boy's clothes would have never been off, which there would never been a story because the monkey would have never been able to take the clothes had it not have been summertime. The busyness of the market caused the boys to get lost? No. Or the observation the boy makes in the village gives him a reason to leave home? I don't think so. The best answer is the fact that it was summertime allowed the monkey to have a chance to steal the clothes. Let's prove it. Well, obviously, this is right because the children would not have been at the pool to swim. Had it not been summer. Which means the monkey would not have had the opportunity to take the clothes. Notice after I get done typing, I stretch it out so it can all be read. Okay, so I want you to finish this. Answer questions 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Use the passage. Prove your work. Make sure you understand the story. After you've answered and proved everything, you can mark off the answer, you can mark off the proof, and you can submit your work saying, I'm done. So tomorrow you're going to take your reading level test, and we're going to get your new reading levels and see where you are at. But then Wednesday, Thursday, and Thursday, you're going to do another passage the same way. But the biggest thing is finding your evidence, understand what the question's asking you. When you get to a question, ask yourself, what is this asking me? Where do I find my answer? Then after you read, you're going to go back and make sure you prove every single answer. Again, this will be for a grade. No, it's not a test grade, but next week you're taking your CBA. So I want to make sure we got enough practice in to be prepared for that. Now, here's the thing. If this is confusing to you or there's a question that you do not understand, you need to reach out to me because I want to be able to help you. Now, my students that are here in person with me, we're going to sit down together with this and go through every question. And if there's ones they don't get, I'm going to help them. So I want to do the same for you. So if there's one you don't understand the answer to, you need to ask for help because I am more than happy. I am willing. I want to get on a Google Meets with you and really explain how to answer these types of questions. If there's some that you need help with, but you have to ask me for help. That way I can help you. Okay. Every day, 2 o'clock, I can open up Google Meets if you ask me to. Okay. From 2 o'clock to 3-ish, I'm available Monday through Friday. And Friday's a little bit different, but Monday through Thursday for sure. If you need help, I'll be more than happy to help you with anything you need help with. That way you can be prepared for your CBA next week. Okay? Have a great week. Work hard, and I'll talk to you soon.